Hello, my lovely Marshall blenders. Here's my gorgeous blender, Bridget. She comes every so often for her trim and her hair treatment, but this time she said, you know what? I want a pop of color, and pop we did. I just like, after doing these pin curls, I was like, listen, Linda, listen, Linda. We gonna show off these colors up in these hairs. Let me tell you something. We had such a good time. So I explained to her, I said, okay, we can do two things in order to achieve this because she has virgin hair. Her hair has had Zippo La Color, been doing her hair for about 5 years, 4 years. So no color in that hair. And so I says we can either go the lightener route, what some people call bleach. We can go the lightener route, or we can use permanent color to create the color. That way we don't even have to tone the hair. It'll have its own tone. And so she says, you know what? Okay. What do you think? What do you? I says I think we should do color. So that's what we did. I got the Matrix 11P, I believe it was, and I got their blonding cream. So the blonding cream is essentially 25% of whatever the amount of color it is that you use. So let's say you use 2 grams of color, then you use 0.50 grams of whatever the blonding cream. And so that's what we did. And baby, blonding it did. It gave strength to that color and made it lift so well. And she's just so happy. Look at that hair. What do you think, guys? How do you feel about this gorgeousness, these curls, this and how did I create the highlights? So, with curly hair, because she has curly hair. And so I had to make sure that her highlights would be noticeable. And in order to do that, you do have to create what some people would consider chunky highlights, but not in the way that we traditionally make chunky highlights, which is that we would weave chunky highlights. No. In the case of curly hair, you have to essentially separate the hair that you want to be highlighted. And so what I did in the front was I took the section, I'm going to say, from ear to ear, just about an inch of the front, and hand separated, right? So I took about I would say, I'm using my finger to kind of see. I took like about half an inch section, and then another half an inch section put to the side. Half an inch, did that all around to the front, and so the half inch sections that were in the front towards me got lightened. The parts that were to the back did not. And I did that all around the hair. I separated sections. The separations themselves were about a quarter inch, and look at this. You can see, ooh, you can see where the color is. It's gonna pop, and it's just beautiful dimension, beautiful color. The blonding cream is wonderful. So one thing I will say, I know the Matrix blonding cream does not work like, let's say, Pravana's blonding cream or Goldwell's blonding cream, which on their own work like a safer bleach, a safer lightener. No, their Matrix's blonding cream is blonding cream to help lift permanent color. So I've never used it on its own. I've only used it as per the instructions. And as per the instructions gives you this. Gives you this. And so to make sure that the lines were not harsh, I would over direct when I place the color. Over direction and diagonal. That was the other thing I did. I did diagonal sections. So diagonal sections and over directing will always give you diffused look. Now here to finish, I used, that is the Rusk Shining Spray, but in it I mixed Love and Health's spray, and that is, it's anti-humidity and whatever. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous. Let me tell you, she was loving how her hair looked. So for the cut, we really did just remove an inch from the growth because I like I said, I'm wanting the blenders to enjoy their length and rejoice in their length. So we removed an inch from the perimeter, you know, just the length, and then we created some long layers. I freshened her hair, the face frame that we have there, so that, you know, just to give some movement to the hair, and that when she rocks it curly as she normally does, it'll give it body. Ooh, yes, running the fingers through the hair, no tangles, baby. Look at that color. And I was telling her, whose hair is that? Whose hair is that? She's like, it's mine. I was like, that's right. That's all yours, baby. I love you guys. Okay, goodbye, my lovely Marshall blenders. I'll see you soon.